I hope you are doing well today. I'm Svetlana Sedenka, one of the leaders of the Canadian BRM community. I'm Master of Business Relationship Management, and I'm Vice President of IT Chapter. I'm honored to be an expert panel host today as we explore their fascinating world of artificial intelligence and its impact on business relationship management and business relationship managers. Thank you very much for joining us today. Your presence and active engagement truly makes these events worthwhile. Now let's set the stage for what's ahead. Over the next hour, we'll have the privilege of hearing from 3 expert panelists who will present themselves very soon, shortly, each of whom possess an experience in artificial intelligence and also an expertise. Their insights promise to be enlightening, and I encourage you to actively participate in our questions and answers questions later on in the second part of our event. However, today's event is not just about our panelists, it's also about you, our members of Canadian BRM Community. Your experience, questions, and contributions are at the core of our discussions. Please feel free to engage with us throughout the call and use the chat, and we'll do our best to address your questions during their Q&A. So as we delve in the profound impact of artificial intelligence on business, let's keep in mind the critical theme of responsible and ethical AI integration. I have to mention about it as well. We'll explore how organizations navigate this journey, their challenges, and their strategies to ensure that artificial intelligence aligns with their values and objectives. Please keep your questions for the chat during the first part of the event, and don't hesitate to put all of them in the chat. I will initially facilitate the session, offering the panelists questions about 2 main topic streams, if you wish. One is about the first AI implementation in their organizations, and then specific questions related to the BRMs. And afterwards, we'll have the live chat GPT demo. Leila, one of our experts, she will offer the chat GPT demo specifically in light of interest of BRMs. And then we'll have, for the last 15 minutes, we'll have the Q&A session. And now, without further delay, let's introduce our panelists and start our session. Each panelist will briefly introduce themselves, sharing their background and their unique artificial intelligence experience. And once again, thank you for being part of Canadian BRM community and joining us today. So I will leave a stage to the panelists to introduce themselves. And who wants to start first? Well, Jasbir. Sure. Okay, Dominic, go ahead.
I was going to go. I was unmuted already.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Dominic.
Or we could do ladies first. So that's that'd be fine with me. So
Dominic,
I'm Dominic Desjardins, an IT. Thanks. Dominic Desjardins, IT Director at Industrial Alliance, a financial institution based out of, well, now has a footprint in North America. And I look after digital workplace and collaboration or productivity tools. And our team, including myself, have been very much engaged with AI conversation in the last few months. I've been in IT for over 30 plus years, in management position for 20 plus years. So once again, thank you for the honor of being part of this panel today, Svetlana. And I'll turn it over to one of my colleague panelists, either Jasbir or Leila.
Leila, did you want to go next? Yeah, with pleasure. Hello, everybody. It's very nice to be amongst you, amongst the honorable panelists. I'm Lela Machaidze. I am an international consultant with over 15 years of experience. Currently, I'm residing in Georgia. My background is in MIT Sloan Artificial Intelligence, MBA, and I've been consulting the private and public sectors. So I have a pretty big experience working with the different complexity customers, consulting them how to do the digital transformation, how to do the artificial intelligence implementation. So I'm really fascinated about this topic. So thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Lela. And Jasbir, your turn.
Thanks, Svetlana. My name's Jasbir Kuner. I work at Englobe Corp. We're located, our head office is in Quebec, and we have mergers and acquisitions across Canada as well as the UK and France. And I started 2 years ago as the director of BRM and then got added on cybersecurity. And now after the past couple months with what we've seen with AI, I'm working on the strategy for AI on the rollout for Englobe. It's great to be here with everyone.
Thank you, Jasbir. And so we can start with our questions, with our panel discussion. And at first, I will be asking you their different questions about the implementation of the artificial intelligence in your organizations and about your specific experience. And I know this is a topic of concern, preoccupation, and thoughts of many, many leaders in many organizations. How to proceed properly with implementation of the AI in the organization, specifically for end users. So the first question I will bring to Dominic, as he's the one who is dealing with it right now. What initial steps should organizations take to assess their readiness for integrating artificial intelligence in their business relationship management processes?
So that's a great question to begin our panel discussion today, Svetlana. Probably two words come to mind: awareness and knowledge. Let me tell you a little bit more about the awareness portion. So if today is the first time you hear something on AI, well, you've got some catch up to do because it's been out there for some time, but at a speed that we've never seen before. If you'd allow me, I'd love to quote the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, on AI. He made that statement a few months back, and allow me to quote him. AI is probably the most important thing humanity has ever worked on. That's significant already. And I think of it as something more profound than electricity or fire. And that comes not from me, not from any of our lovely panelists today, but it comes from the CEO of Google. So first, get acquainted to the AI terminology concept. If you're not today, get acquainted to it. Do some reading, join online forums, visit websites. The big guys in the industry, the Googles, the Microsoft, the Amazon, they're into AI technology, and they've been for some time. Get acquainted to this game-changing or this disruptor that will be coming in the upcoming months and years, because it's going to start, but it will continue. I've been in discussions with multiple vendors or manufacturers of some of the software that we use today, been in discussion with some research firms as well. And there is one common denominator that keeps coming back, and it's all about knowledge. So AI is only as good as your knowledge is in your organization. So quality of your knowledge, structure of your knowledge will dictate how optimal you're going to be with artificial intelligence. So awareness, get acquainted to the technology, get acquainted to what's going on, and familiarize yourself, not just you as a BRM, of course, but your business partners, your technology partners. Make sure they become more and more familiar with this concept of AI. And if you're not doing knowledge management today in the organization, well, that's probably something you want to put on the radar in early 2024 so that you can structure the knowledge a bit for AI to eventually consume it and be able to, give you that full benefit of artificial intelligence.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm a big fan of knowledge management and organizations myself, and it's interesting how important and critical it in supporting artificial intelligence implementation. But if we continue on this topic, Dominic, could you share, please, best practices for organizations planning for their first AI implementation?
So probably one of the first things we did internally at Industrial Alliance is we formed a community of artificial intelligence. This has been out there to the world for some time. ChatGPT was released when November of 2022, early December 2022. And the world now is aware that there's something called ChatGPT, and it's artificial intelligence, and it will do something for you. And a lot of people have logged on to the website, to the OpenAI website, and they've used it. And you know what? Everyone now has access to this technology. So creating a community where you can exchange knowledge, you can share findings, you can ask questions, you can deal with uncertainties, to a certain point, because it will bring and disrupt the way we conduct our business today. So have that community where you can exchange, dialogue, share your knowledge, your experience, and get people acquainted to artificial intelligence. If you don't do knowledge, I alluded to knowledge management earlier on. Glad to hear, Svetlana, that you're a big fan of knowledge management in organizations. So am I, by the way. But if you're not doing knowledge management today, if you don't have a practice called knowledge, if you don't have roles specific to knowledge management, please consider doing it in early 2024. That will help you best position your organization to eventually be able to consume that knowledge and make it happen.
Thank you. Thank you, Dominic. Very great insights. So we're going to move to our next question. This time I will ask Jasbir, what factors should organizations consider when selecting artificial intelligence technologies, again, from your experience as you're dealing with it as we speak, or maybe AI solutions which align with your business goals and requirements? How do you select technology?
And so what I find is that about 3 months ago when ChatGPT, everyone started to use it and it became such a buzzword, everyone was like, I want to go AI, right? And all of a sudden I felt like companies thought, hey, if I go AI, it's flipping a switch. I'm going to be able to, implement it and it's not an issue. And that's not the case. There's so many AI projects, as well as if we just talk about project management in general, I think it's about 75% of projects fail. And AI is no different. You're going to carry it out as a project. So I think the fundamental aspect that you need to start off with, the foundation is, what's the purpose? What's the objective? Why are we bringing this AI? And then what I find a lot of companies haven't been asking themselves in the past couple months is, do we already have a software solution we're using where we can just add in another module? It may not be AI, but it can solve the problem we're looking for. So there are different options. You don't always need to go AI. So know which purpose, and then you go about and you're like, all right, now I can choose the software or the package because I know what my goal is. And then second aspect is, where are you right now based on your technical compatibility? We're carrying, every IT department that I'm speaking to is carrying a lot of tech debt, right? And we have a lot of stuff that needs to be updated from the infrastructure side from years ago, right? So you're always updating your servers and you're looking to make sure you're robust in that aspect. So what technical aspect infrastructure do we currently have? What do we need in order to implement these AI technologies? And that's an investment. So again, it goes back to the business. Are you willing to invest X amount to be able to get us to where we need to just set this up? Once that's set up, it's the data. So a lot of companies are still using paper. It is not digitized. AI needs data, and data needs to be clean. You can't just input data. So cleaning usually takes about, it's 80% of the job when it comes to data. So I know I've spoken to a lot of companies where they're like, oh, we got the data. It's not going to take us long to clean. We're going to get AI to do it. How? Right? So everybody's using AI as a buzzword to do everything, but it's not that simple. So what data do I have? What data do I need? Is it clean? And once the algorithm starts to use it, you're going to have to make sure that that algorithm's output is good. So you'll have to invest in skill set, change management. Are employees ready within your company to go AI? Because there's a lot of, whenever we read news, it's your jobs are going to be lost. You know, AI is going to take over. So employees are a bit apprehensive about stepping into it. So change management is so important, upskilling, reskilling, that all falls onto leadership to make sure that employees are excited about, wow, we're starting this new software. It's going to help me become, 40%, 50% more efficient. I can leave all the automated tasks to AI where I can be more creative, more innovative, right? You have to start to really, from the change management, get them excited and say, this is the route that we're going to take. And then for myself, I'm very big on ethics of AI. So what's the security surrounding AI? And to keep ethics in mind, because the data right now we're seeing is, it could be sexist, it could be racist, and we're the ones that have to step in and make sure we clean that data. And sometimes it means taking out some data, putting in some data to make sure the algorithm is good. So ethics needs to be at the heart. And every time we're talking to big organizations such as Microsoft, they've done a great job with that. So I would definitely suggest for individuals that are going in AI to look at Microsoft and what they have surrounding their ethical AI. They call it responsible AI, and what that structure is.
Thank you, Jasbir. And well, if we just touched the topic of upskilling and reskilling and continue on this notion. So what do you think skills and training do you believe are essential for business relationship managers to fully harness the benefits of artificial intelligence and their roles? What would you recommend? What would you use with your employees in your organization?
For myself, like Dominic had suggested, make sure you on LinkedIn, there's so much information. If you're following the right people, they're linking you to blogs, to articles and stuff that real time what's happening, as well as the individuals here. Many of us are BRM certified. So we're worked within the BRM community, APMG. And I know on their end, they are looking in the near future to release their AI foundational course for individuals that want to go down that route. And Svetlana, I believe IT chapter will be providing it. So for that end, make sure you understand the fundamentals of AI to begin with, and then it's continuous learning. It never stops.
Yeah, so we're getting there. Yeah, we're preparing ourselves for artificial intelligence like everyone else. And another important topic, Jasbir, which you touched, is that AI implementation is a project, right? And every project brings a change, and a change is a transition. So to me, the critical success factor in AI implementation, specifically for end users, for the vast population of each organization, is adaptation of AI-powered tools and workflows. And I will ask Lela, in this sense, as an expert in all three disciplines, artificial intelligence, project management, and change management, what's your take on it? How we can ensure smooth transition to the new AI tools and techniques?
Well, I'm just reading the note in the chat that the fear of employees of AI, and it is so real. When we go, for example, when I go and do consulting and I meet for the interview, for the surveys, the department heads, I really feel and see, and they respond to me that, will it replace us? So it's already there. And if we start with the change management, actually, this is the inbuilt in human being that we fear the change, even though in our conscious mind, we accept the change and we know that it really needs. So the first step that organizations should have in place is very robust change management system. And I'm really going with the Dominic about saying having AI community who is really preaching and giving the real understanding of the why we need AI. So delivering the message in the right way. So the change management, which is equipped with the support teams, however you call them, AI community, change council, change agency, or wherever, those are the people not too much enthusiastic, over enthusiastic, and not having too much. So they shouldn't be really radical in their approach, but having some balance in between. So change management is absolutely crucial. And what I see recently happening in lots of organizations where I do the consulting, they try to integrate change management and project management and agile approaches very, very deeply with each other. What I mean by that? So the tools, what we use in change management are used in the project management and agile approach because it's changing so fast, the requirements that we collect from the customers. So my recommendation will be in the organizations and businesses to have very robust change management system and also have adaptable project management systems. What does it mean? I mean that usually the systems not really allow us to have a flexibility, but for the small projects which we pilot, even for AI, we don't start big. Yeah, big changes are always scary and having a huge impact. We start with the pilot changes and we implement and test as well as project management tools. Would it be waterfall? Would it be agile and so forth? And the third component, it's three pillar. Third component, which I believe is crucial to prepare people for the change. So change is here and it always have been here, and we are as a human beings adjusted and adaptable by our nature. But what is crucial is the speed of the change, speed of the unknown that we are expecting to coming. So we need to start preparing our people to be more adaptive, be faster adaptive. So the question is that how? We have to start building in our HR programs, and I do these programs a lot in the Middle East, in the Europe, that organizations start implementing adaptability programs, which are 6 months and 1 year. What it means? You assess the adaptability skill components, and this is not the format that I will go deeper into each of them. And it has several components like abilities, like character, like environment the organization provides. Some people may have the ability to adapt quicker, but if the environment is toxic, it is stressful, then they cannot really be adaptive and adapt the AI abilities. So having adaptability programs well in advance and involve people in decision making, why we need this tool. this is probably the response to your question.
Yeah. And Lela, well, what Rob is asking exactly, what are some examples of effective messaging to address the fear employees have around AI taking their jobs? Maybe we can park this question to the end because we have a couple of others, but this is very, very amazing question, which I would like also to have an answer for. You can maybe think about it in the meantime, while I will ask another question. You touched and mentioned about challenges and challenges with fear, challenges with, well, as usual, resistance to change and lack of adaptability is one. What are other common challenges which I experienced? Dominic, what's your challenges and what the challenges you observed in AI implementation?
I'll bounce back on what Leila just mentioned on organizational change management program. This is something that we've engaged with our HR partners to make sure, dealing with the employee experience division of our HR vice presidency, we've engaged an employee experience team that is hip to hip with our AI implementation team so that we can start understanding. First, you need to ramp them up and bring our HR partners to the same level of understanding of what AI is about and what this is going to do and how it's going to disrupt, the day-to-day job. We need to deal with the uncertainty. Some roles will disappear. I mean, that's the way it is. I don't want to sound pessimistic here, but that's the reality. Some roles are going to be gone. In a year's time, we'll look back and say, wow, we used to have this function, does not exist anymore. An Excel guru may not be needed in the future once you have that AI available to you. But then the person that has a need will need to be able to formulate that need talking to a virtual agent called AI. That's a change. That's a change in who does what when in the organization, and that is a big challenge. It really is today, but tough decisions will have to be made, and because it will change the way we conduct business. And keep in mind, last observation on this, before we used to talk about automations and some funky business happening in the back end at the data center level where servers would be automated and talk to each other in the back end. Now we're talking an impact on the end user ecosystem directly, where the user will have access to this powerful engine and be in a position to use it. That's a big change, big change. So change management, digital dexterity of your users. Do some research on digital dexterity. Need to increase that digital dexterity. Need to start thinking as, what's my need? What's my requirement? And how do I formulate it and give it to AI so it can respond to my need? I believe some of the biggest challenges that we're facing. It's all around people. At this point, it's all about people.
Thank you, Dominic. What about technology? Any challenges with technology?
Well, Jasper alluded to it a few minutes ago. Make sure your infrastructure can support such agent when you bring it in. If you're still on-prem versus cloud, well, that may be a challenge. And you do have some legacy systems as well that you'll want at one point integrate and make available to AI for it to consume some of the data in your legacy system. So there's some architectural design that needs to happen in order to prep and get the full benefit of AI. But it's all about planning, Svetlana.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for great insights. And before we move to the ChatGPT demo, which Lela will show us, I would like to ask the last question, actually, from all panelists. We are in the forum of business relationship management communities, and where I see a lot of BRMs and BRMP certified people here. Again, thank you for joining. From the BRM perspective, what kind of strategies could be employed to effectively communicate the challenges and benefits to AI to their business partners, or maybe even external clients? So what BRM should be ready for. And well, Jasbir, maybe you can start. You are leading the BRM function. So what's your take on it?
For myself, is the way that I view it is BRM has always been the middle person between IT and business, and our function is still the same of what we've been doing. What changes is the fact that we need to learn AI much better. So know the fundamentals of AI, have data literacy. It is so important for us to pick up that skill going forward, because I believe it's going to keep on coming back in different ways. It's going to be in the implementation stage. It's going to be when the algorithm's putting data back out, right? Is it accurate? Is it not? So data literacy, after knowing the foundational aspect of AI, and then what are the ethical considerations around it? Are we using this in an ethical way? Because I find what's happening right now is a lot of businesses are implementing AI. And what we're going to see is once the regulations catch up, in about 5 to 10 years, the consultants from Gartner and stuff are going to have to come in and do a certification to say, hey, they are actually using ethical AI. And it's just not, like they just didn't implement the machine and it's outputting different stuff. And again, from the BRM, we're used to it. It's continuous learning. Right now, ChatGPT hit us. So ChatGPT, the original Leila, maybe you're going to go into the history. ChatGPT was not something new. Prior to 3 months ago, they didn't have a prompt. That was the difference. And as humans, we like to input stuff. We're prompt DOS, old school, I guess, right? Not much has changed. Once they added in the prompt, all of a sudden ChatGPT became mainstream. So this is where tomorrow we don't know what's going to become mainstream. I just heard that I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but DAL 3 is going to start to be used in ChatGPT 4. So all of a sudden now we're going to be able to get pictures, right? Text to pictures. And that's a whole different dynamic. So right when you think, all right, I don't know ChatGPT well enough, I have to make sure I'm prompting better. And now they're adding in a different thing. So continuous learning.
Thank you, Jasbir. So what about you, Leila? What would you recommend in terms of strategies to communicating the benefits and challenges to the business?
Continue the Jasbir's thought. It will be just good continuation. The continuous learning and adaptability to the new requirements, and learning becomes the more and more crucial. Just not forgetting, but learning new stuff and not resisting to the changes. I recently, not recently, about half a year ago, I came across to the strategy which really impressed me, and since then I have used this strategy in the AI integration for business. If I may, I will share one slide which will give us like a better understanding of the framework. Again, this is not the format to go deep, so this will be just a quick intro to the strategy framework for this.
Yep.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
So the model is called Spark. Why it was amazing and why it is different from so especially it is very useful for AI integration in the business, and it stands for the spot potential. I mean, of course, when the consultants go, they really look for the gaps and for the areas. But right now, the spot potential is to conduct analysis and to find the most impactful areas for AI. Could be just as Jasbir mentioned, invoicing, or just eliminating step by step the paperwork. The second is pick the model. The best, easiest, low-hanging fruit is the model which is already here, like ChatGPT, generative AI. So instead of just building new customized tools, and also there are low-code, no-code solutions, just learn how to use those low-code, no-code solutions, even for the project, even for the departments, even for the functions. But don't really spend too much money until you are sure you need this AI solution. Then again, apply and adapt. It is again, it's interaction and finding balance between automation and human oversight. Even though you implement, it will still need people to watch it because it still will be making errors. There still will be errors. Of course, less than manual, but still. The fourth is the have a ready team. This is where I see the link with the adaptability advanced programs, which you should be doing well before where you start implementing the changes. And the last one is just keep evaluating. What I really love it is in line with the emerging new like positions like AI consultants or AI specialists, the people who are really continuously watching and monitoring what new tools are on the market, because it's changing even in seconds. As we speak, things are changing, like DALS 3, yeah? So there are changes. I really like this model, and I use it quite often when doing the consulting.
Thank you, Lela. Thank you for sharing. Maybe one day we will talk in more depth about this model. And Dominic, your turn very briefly, because we still want to see the good ChatGPT demo.
I'll keep it short because my colleagues have already expressed a lot of good items. Building on the Spark model, the apply portion, AI first, but not always. Make sure you have use cases like down the road. Once you're acquainted to the technology, make sure you have use cases that are good candidates for AI. Just a second quick observation. I think our job is to help our business partners and technologists and IT divisions to find the right balance between security, privacy, and efficiency. So it's nice to talk about AI, but we alluded to it during this conversation today. In organizations, there are some security parameters that we need to deal with. There are some privacy laws and regulations that we need to, of course, adapt to. And we also need to make sure we gain efficiency. So finding the right balance between these three components it will be a challenge for all of us involved with the AI conversation.
Thank you, Dominic. And we have questions in the chat, and we will go now for 10 minutes demo. And then we will go to the questions which we have in the chat. Just for your information, while Lela is sharing her screen, we will have a second expert panel where we will go in depth for AI topics and specifically for the ChatGPT, how to build prompts, how to use prompts, and many other more advanced topics. And we will run this in November. So you're ready, Lela? Okay.
Yeah. Can you see my screen? Can everybody see my screen?
Yeah, we can. Maybe you can make it like a full screen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is better. That's bigger.
Okay. Okay, so not to go into much details right now, for this demo version, we will be using ChatGPT 3.5. The GPT-4 version is also called ChatGPT Plus, is also available, but it's paid. So for purpose of this demo, we decided to go with the free version. So I wanted to bring some case which is relevant for most of us BRMs, and one of the issues, well, you see the panel, I'm sure you have used it. If not, then it's just OpenAI application where you just log in with your mail account, and this is the interface. The main working space, the workspace, is right here, and your past history of all the different quests or prompts or discussions, or as it's called, chats, are on the left side. So they can be renamed as you wish and collapsed. But for this showcase, I want to do the prompt and I will just read it out loud. And I have prepared one case to show you how it will respond. So the question, the prompt, which I'm putting here is, how can I write a convincing proposal of an IT solution that can solve a business problem using clear, persuasive language, evidence, and examples, assuming that the business problem is, parentheses, and you would describe the problem. Well, with the prompt, as much details you put there, as better results you will receive. So you have to be very clear with the end result, what you would expect to receive. Here, if we continue, and the IT solution, again, describe the solution. So let's see if we hit the button, what it will generate. So as you see, it gives us pretty good steps, step-by-step guide how to prepare it. First, understand the problem, define the IT solution, yeah, and then have executive summary and what it should contain, the problem statement, proposed IT solution, benefits and value proposition, implementation. I'm not going, you can all see it. Cost analysis, of course, in order to convince and just push your proposal, you definitely need cost analysis, alternatives, and conclusion. So any appendices and review and edits, so it gives you all the suggestions.
Leila,
so
can you enter in a prompt saying, can you make this less than 500 words?
Oh,
so
yes.
I find nowadays with Instagram, TikTok, and everything, our attention span is not there. So I've seen myself, I usually go in with the initial, and then I'm always typing in like, I want to make it less than this, or summarize it in less than 500 words. If you tell it how many words, are you able to type it in?
Yeah. My recommendation is, instead of from the beginning saying condensing it, from my experience, you better go with the longer version and then summarize it, because the quality of the response differs. And usually the quality of the response is much better. I will definitely do it, but I want to just go with my case, entering the real life example, like describing the problem and describing the solution. If I may, after that, I will just condense it to a shorter version. May I?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I have prepared the prompt here, exactly same, but the problem which I'm addressing is insufficient workflow management. So, and then I explained the current workflow management system is outdated and inefficient. Employees are spending excessive time on manual tasks, leading to delays, errors, and decreased productivity. And the IT solution that we believe in our organizations, is to implement a workflow automation. Yeah, and we also have some brainstorming done and just giving description of the solution, also putting the benefits, the features and examples. And let's see, for example, how it will respond and what type of response it will generate. I hope you all can see the screen. So it has pretty nice formatting, it has pretty nice description, but I will even go further and I say I'm not even satisfied with that. So I will go with the last prompt and then go with this and ask chat to suggest the completed proposal for this specific case. Let's see if it will come up with a different version. So you can see it's complete, but it's not ready. It has all the different items we may have not thought, or we may have spent with the team few hours. So it has generated pretty nice problem statements, the value propositions, which of course the numbers are the exact, but it gives you very nice beginning. It will give you very nice beginning. So it has all the like examples and implementation plan suggestions and conclusion. So I think it's pretty impressive. And now let's go to Jasper's request. Jasper, your request was to condense it.
Yeah, so I find myself, that's what I do is I ask for it originally, then I say, give me the condensed so I could just read through it and get a good understanding. And then I could go back to the original. And the second prompt that I see myself using a lot more is I found in the last 2 to 3 weeks, ChatGPT starting to sound more and more robotic and not so much human. So I'm adding a sentiment now that can you make it more human sometimes if I just don't have time, or I'll say I want to write this and I want to be full of gratitude and make it, you know, like, and I'll tell like be nice. So the more you could tell it, that's the filter that it'll apply. But I find the more and more people that are using it, it's turning more robotic. It's sounding a lot more robotic.
Well, one of the tones which I really enjoy is to be authentic, human, and like being conversational. This is not the ready product. I always highlight that this is not the ready product, but it is nice beginning and start of the work, because you still need to shuffle and change things, add, remove, and give more the factors that are influencing. But it really saves us time, and it is really effective tool which will be very regretful to miss. Yeah. So Svetlana, I know that I'm running out of time.
Yeah, so we have 10 minutes left. I just want to add to the conversation that I have a trick about converting ChatGPT from robotic language to another one. I use the tool which is called Grammarly. And you probably know this tool. Okay, it has a free version, and it has very inexpensive paid version. It converts to any tone beautifully. So I'm just generating content in ChatGPT, whatever I need to generate, and then I go to Grammarly, I copy and paste over there, and I'm playing with the then presentation of these words. And you can be formal, humble, official, academic, whatever you need, and it's a great hint. Yes, so we have several minutes left, and we had
I have another prompt ready. If you want, I can share it, but I'm going with you as you would like. I have like my communication with my client, how I generated it step by step, but I'm going with the flow as you.
Yeah, we have a couple of very interesting questions, okay, so which I'm very impatient to have an answer for. So one I will ask, and then we'll go back to the question of the effective messaging, right? So can artificial intelligence be used to identify fraud?
Well, I'll give this a kick at the can, Svetlana. I believe so. It will eventually be in that domain of expertise as well. Is it ready yet? I don't think so, not from what I've seen, at least on my part, and I'll let my colleagues comment on this as well, but I believe it will be happening. It's a matter of time.
there's no immediate that the fraud is fraud or spam or phishing, and every one of us, right, we are targets of it. So how we could employ artificial intelligence? Okay, we'll get there. So another question is, any suggested strategies for how I can get my business partner to be patient while ITS, I think it's IT department, implements the necessary prerequisites of effective AI. How we can keep business partners patient?
This is an amazing question, and why don't we ask chat and see what responses it comes up? I intentionally didn't want it to, and let's see what responses and the strategies it may recommend. Educate your partner.
We said that.
Again.
Yeah, well said, well said.
Yeah, and
get acquainted. Yeah.
Good is that you can always say that it was suggested. We didn't think about it, but it was suggested by chat.
I think it's also like we're living in a time where it's human and machine. We're not at a time where it's just machine. So for this question, I would also say that as a BRM, communication is so important to us, and it's the transparency aspect. Go tell your partners exactly what's going on from the IT level. These are what we're facing, right? So we're facing infrastructure issues, we're facing data issues. These are the timelines that we have for each, and this is how we're going about it. The more human you can make this, the more transparent you can be, the more that they're going to start to collaborate with you and have an understanding. And it's the transparency that I think we have to keep at the heart of this.
Thank you.
And one thing, if I may add, one thing we did, which is actually buying us a good amount of time, is to, once they're acquainted to the technology and they're a bit more familiar with AI, is to get our business partners to start thinking about potential use cases for us to come in and work with them and get AI introduced in their environment. So low value added activities, repetitive tasks, and all of this. How could we improve your posture and optimize your operations? Start thinking about that. And that will get them to, become familiar with the technology, but also it will buy you some time as well, because it will take time to identify the use cases, right?
Yeah. But I can imagine why business keeps impatient, right? Because it appears that use of AI is simple, straightforward, and everyone else is outside organizations using it. Why we cannot use it inside of our organization, right? But it's a different game.
Yeah,
right balance between security, privacy, and efficiency, right? So
exactly.
One of the practices actually which I can share is that organizations, especially small and medium-sized organizations, because they are more flexible, they are adopting AI policies in the organization, like change management systems, like project management methodologies. They are developing AI policies, and it is really important, I think.
Yes. So we have a couple of minutes left, and I want to conclude our gathering today. First, thank you very much, Dominic, Lela, and Jasbir, for sharing your insights. And secondly, thank you for everyone who joined our event today. So, Peter, if you are around, maybe you can briefly share the next dates of gathering, because we have dates already set up. Just to remind you that we are having next casual coffee, which is a forum where we connect without any specific topic and talk about our BRM issues, problems, challenges, ideas, successes, anything. And our next gathering is gonna be in November. So if you anyone ready to share the dates, Peter?
I thought I had it open in my PC.
Yes.
Just packed it up for me. I would have it up in about a minute, one sec, folks.
Yes.
So October
Sorry
19th
to
is our
put you on the
next.
spot.
It's okay.
I know.
The 19th is our virtual coffee, and then we're thinking the 23rd will be the second
Yes.
conversation about the expert panel on AI.
Yes, November 23rd. I managed to open as well the calendar. So October 19 is a casual coffee. You will receive an invite. And on November 23rd, we will have the second panel where we will go in depth. For today, we have the set of prompts for ChatGPT, which is a great takeaway from this event today, which Lela generously shared with us. And we will share with people who accepted invite. That's in our calendar. Jasbir will share this Excel spreadsheet with preset prompts, which I found extremely valuable for us. And recording, yes, we will share the recording. We will put recording on LinkedIn group because it's large, and we will share recording via link with the people who were invited. So, and if you have any further questions, you know where to find us. You have our email addresses. Please don't hesitate to contact us. We will be very interested to further exchange ideas and information about AI. So on this note, anything else to add, Dominic?
Nothing else on my end. Thank you for your attention today. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, Jasbir?
Just a thank you, and I'm looking forward to November. We from the chat, everyone seemed to have a great hour, and I think the excitement is there to do the part 2.
Yeah, and Lela, any last words
Thank you
for
again
today?
for having me here, and thank you for the interactive discussions and also the questions. The audience was very interactive with lots of questions and comments, and it's always very helpful to have the discussion.
Yeah, well, thank you everyone, and see you hopefully in October and November. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.